The year is 230 million BCE. You're standing at the edge of a river in what will one day become central Pangaea. The ground rumbles beneath your feet. The air is thick, hot, and still recovering from the most brutal extinction event in Earth's history. You hear a splash. Something massive just entered the water downstream. You freeze. It isn't a dinosaur. It's worse. Because in the Triassic period, predators weren't just evolving, they were experimenting. And some of those experiments were things no one should ever run into. Today, on Jurassic Zoo, we're uncovering the most dangerous, unpredictable, and nightmarish creature to encounter during the Triassic period. Chapter 1. Welcome to the Triassic, Earth's reboot. The Triassic period, spanning from about 252 to 201 million years ago, was a time of chaos and rebirth. The Earth had just survived the Permian-Triassic extinction, a catastrophe that killed off over 90% of all species. The survivors? They were the toughest, most adaptable, and most opportunistic life forms you could imagine. With little competition, evolution went into overdrive. Amphibians, reptiles, and early archosaurs, the ancestors of crocodiles and dinosaurs, began to diversify into all sorts of monstrous forms. This was nature's testing ground. Crocodile-like reptiles that ran on two legs, marine reptiles that looked like sea serpents, and towering land predators that made everything else scatter. This wasn't the age of dinosaurs yet, but it was the age of their terrifying ancestors. Chapter 2. Contenders from the Shadows. Before we reveal the worst of the worst, let's size up the competition, because there were plenty of nightmare candidates in the Triassic. First, there's Postosuchus, a reptile that looked like a cross between a crocodile and a tyrannosaur. It could reach lengths of 6 meters, 20 feet, walked upright on powerful legs, and had a skull full of steak knife teeth. Postosuchus wasn't a dinosaur. It was an early archosaur and one of the top predators in North America. Fast, heavily built, and always hungry. Then you have phytosaurs, crocodile lookalikes that actually weren't crocodiles at all. These semi-aquatic ambush predators could grow over 8 meters, 26 feet, long, and had jaws filled with conical teeth perfect for grabbing slippery prey. Some species, like Smilosuchus, even had enlarged fangs, giving them a snaggle-toothed, almost saber-like bite. And let's not forget the nothosaurs and early ichthyosaurs in the seas. They were fast, agile, and dominant in the marine world. If you were swimming in the wrong Triassic lagoon, you might find yourself face to face with something that looked like a nightmare mix of dolphin, eel, and crocodile. But none of these hold a candle to what you're about to meet. Chapter 3. The true nightmare, Saurosuchus. Meet Saurosuchus, the Triassic predator you definitely didn't want to run into. This beast wasn't the fastest, but it didn't need to be. It was built like a living battering ram. Saurosuchus was a Rauisuchian, a group of reptiles related to crocodilians, but built for life on land. At over 7 meters, 23 feet long, and weighing over a ton, it was one of the largest land predators of the Triassic. Its head was massive, almost crocodilian in shape, but with deep jaws lined with curved, serrated teeth. It had an armored back covered in osteoderms, bony plates embedded in the skin, and its limbs were positioned directly beneath its body, allowing it to move with surprising speed and efficiency for its size. In essence, Saurosuchus was a tank with legs, built to crush anything in its path. But what truly made Saurosuchus the worst creature to encounter was its versatility. It wasn't specialized like some of its competitors. It could hunt in forests, open plains, near rivers, even on the edges of swamps. It could ambush, chase, or overpower. Fossil evidence suggests it preyed on everything from small reptiles to early dinosaurs. And early dinosaurs, they ran from this thing. Chapter 4. The ecosystem feared it. In the Ishigualasto Formation of modern-day Argentina, where Saurosuchus fossils are found, paleontologists have discovered something strange: a clear absence of large competing predators in the same layers. That suggests Saurosuchus was so dominant it outcompeted or eliminated rival carnivores in its ecosystem. Even early theropod dinosaurs like Herrerasaurus and Eoraptor seem to have adapted to avoid direct conflict, either by hunting at night or sticking to different prey. That kind of dominance is rare in nature. Saurosuchus wasn't just a hunter, it was a monopoly, and it had no natural predators. Juveniles may have been vulnerable, but once a Saurosuchus reached adult size, it was effectively untouchable. And unlike some predators that relied on pack hunting, Saurosuchus appears to have been a solitary killer. One was enough. Chapter 5: Anatomy of a Killing Machine. Let's break it down. Why was Saurosuchus so deadly? Size: 7+ meters long and over a ton in weight. It rivaled or exceeded most of its competitors. Teeth: serrated, recurved, and spaced to allow for deep penetration and easy flesh tearing. Skull structure: reinforced for delivering bone-crushing bites. Posture: unlike modern crocodiles, it had an upright gait, allowing for bursts of speed and better endurance on land. Armor: rows of osteoderms made attacking it from above difficult, especially for smaller creatures. Sensory: its skull suggests keen senses, particularly smell and vision, ideal for tracking prey. It wasn't just powerful, it was efficient. There's no wasted design here. Everything about Saurosuchus screamed apex. Chapter 6: Running the Numbers. How bad was it? Let's say you're a time traveler who accidentally lands in the late Triassic and finds yourself in Saurosuchus territory. What are your chances? If you're armed with modern weapons, maybe you get a shot. If you're unarmed and on foot, 0. Saurosuchus had the advantage in speed, strength, and terrain. You wouldn't hear it coming if it ambushed you from cover, and even if you did spot it early, its stride and endurance would outlast your sprint. Once it had your scent, you were prey. The most terrifying part? You might not even know what hit you. A sudden rush, a thunderous crash, then nothing. Chapter 7: The Fall of the Monster. So what happened? If Saurosuchus was so dominant, why don't its kind rule the world today? The answer lies at the end of the Triassic. Another extinction event swept through the planet, likely caused by massive volcanic activity tied to the opening of the Atlantic Ocean. The environmental upheaval caused global warming, acid rain, and widespread ecosystem collapse. Specialists like Saurosuchus vanished, but the small, nimble dinosaurs it once preyed on, they survived. And in a cruel twist of fate, the age of dinosaurs was only made possible because giants like Saurosuchus went extinct. Conclusion: nightmare made real. The Triassic Period was a forgotten battleground, a world of monstrous experiments and brutal efficiency. And at the top of that savage food chain stood Saurosuchus, a reptilian war machine that dominated everything it saw. It wasn't a dinosaur, it was worse. Don't forget to subscribe for more prehistoric nightmares brought to life. To face the next Jurassic Zoo terror, click here.